Welcome back, everyone.
That was lame.
Well, here we are again. A second episode.
Yeah, they picked me up for the full season
on small indie podcasts. All right. Anyway, well, welcome in. My intros suck. That's something I'm going to get better at, but I got a better camera. I got my microphone's better, bro. Everything's just better in just one episode. Anywho, today's going to be a great episode. We're going to talk about the different types of hauntings that locations can have. A little trigger warning. Trigger warning, don't get triggered. I'm gonna inject some of my own beliefs, some things that I've experienced in the funeral industry. I'm gonna talk about what scientific research says about it, and the paranormal community about it. Okay. So I'm not going to be biased. And, yeah, I got a pinch of some calm down in my lip. So if you get triggered by that, don't watch. Because I got to spit every now and again. It's a habit, man. It's only bad if you don't like it, right? Anywho, so check this out. I was in the shower before this episode, right? I was in the shower, washing my ass, which is a great thing. Everybody should do it, right? And I had this epiphany. Like, it's a great place. A shower is a great place for me. I sometimes take heat showers. And that's not where I hate myself, but it's where I think of all the shit and all the negative shit in my life, and I wash it down the drain, right? Just like you're using the toilet. And heat showers are perfect. This one wasn't a heat shower. I was actually kind of in a relaxing, kind of euphoric state. Washing my ass. Also, keep in mind, this is my son's room, so don't judge me. Care if you do, fool. Anyway. So, this came to my mind about paranormal, because I wanted to think of things I could talk about for an hour. I think it's funny, really funny, how the paranormal community, whether it's through television, whether it's through guys like me who just do this shit by themselves, or with a friend that never answers his phone to go on investigations. You know what I'm talking about, Rebel. Get with the program, bro. With all the evidence we could supply, it still wouldn't be good enough for the ultra religious or the over the top scientific seeing is believing. But we're giving you things that you can see. You're just not believing because it go against your social or religious belief systems, right? And someone could say the same thing about me, because I don't believe that every spirit out there that I encounter is just a demon posing, catfishing me in a sense. But even though we give all this proof and evidence and just hands down, people still deny paranormal activity as being true. Yet you'll believe, like, think about how your cell phone works, right? Or even a landline, which I have a landline, which makes me old as fuck, but you have a device that can transmit your voice through thin air to another person on a device and engage with them in a conversation through what appears to be magic. If you were to take that back, if you were to show somebody from the 1700s, they would burn you at the stake, right? Because you're using witchcraft. But people hands down believe in phones, being able to fly, all these things that hundreds of years ago would have been magic or the source of the devil. But you also say to yourself, well, Matt, I can do those things. I can pick up a phone and I can call somebody and it'll work every time. Okay, you're right. But can I go to a place that's known to be haunted and experience paranormal activity almost every time I go there and record some kind of evidence? The answer's not a resounding 100% yes. But if you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for and how to get it, yes, you can get it. So how are the two different? Just think on that, especially if you're a skeptic, which I proclaim that I am a skeptic believer. I don't believe all the shit I see, especially with the power of AI. Dude, artificial intelligence is so dumb right now. I mean, you can make anything look real. Like I legit thought that they could Google this one, the skinwalker tiger dude that's sitting like a man around a campfire. I was dumb. I was like, look at this, bro. I didn't think he was a skinwalker, but I thought, wow, this tiger can like chill by the campfire like it's Tony the Tiger, bro. Like she's just chilling and then lays down. But that was created with AI and it is so crisp, so powerful. So it's hard to know what's real. And you have to trust your intuition. You know what I mean? Here comes the first spit. Let's get a spit counter going. That's one. Look, I'm hillbilly to the core, man. If you don't like it, I don't care. Whatever, bro. So that was my spiel that I had when I washed my ass in the shower. But that leads me to believe, or to be a responsible investigator. To not believe everything I hear. Like when I use some of the new, like I use Ghost Tube on my phone because I tested it and it's actually pretty legit. In my opinion, I believe that it is a quality program for iPhones. iPhones are just next level. That's what's actually recording right now. And then I've also had great experience with a program called Phasmabox. And that you can download on your PC. Don't think they have it for Mac users, which if you use a Mac, you're just a fucking weirdo. I'm kidding, dude. But it uses radio waves to create a spirit box type situation, and it just allows what would be like EVPs come through. So it's really cool. It's like Ghost Tube Vox. So if you watch my shows or channel and episodes, you'll see that I switch between all 4 of their apps, which they're all great. And maybe if I get, maybe I'll get like a sweatshirt or something I could wear. It's bit number 2. So before I go in too deep as well, I wanted to give a shout out to someone special to me. His name is Chris. He's the owner of River City Tattoo in Old Sacramento, California, right down there right on the main strip, man. And he's a good dude, great artist. He's done all my tattoos, and he's got a great staff there. Their staff has done all my piercings. So if you need somebody you can trust who's gonna listen to what you want, but not let you get something stupid, go to Chris's shop. Go to River City Tattoo. Get it done. Don't worry, I'm not getting paid for that. It's just a plug for my friend. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of friends anymore as I got older. My son's like, oh, I've got like 900 friends on Roblox. And I'm like, okay, well, it only matters. It only matters when you need somebody, and that's when you find out if they're really your friend or not. Like my buddy Rebel Rouser, who never comes to any of my investigations because he's a night hawk, and he hides. I think he's afraid. I think that's what it really comes down to. I'll probably get some shit for that later, but I'm trying to get him to. Oh, this ties in great to this episode. So we're talking about different kind of hauntings here, like what type of phenomena goes on at a location. And he's told me some stuff about his garage. He has 2 garages, right? And I'm trying to see if he'll let me do a house call episode so we can investigate that garage, because he says it's pretty powerful. So, and he's gone through some life experiences that make him believe things a certain way, especially about the paranormal, and they spirits and beings tend to gravitate towards him, which is awesome, because even when I hang out with him, he just draws out activity. So we'll be getting him on the show soon. I don't know about the podcast, but he's not very smart, so he can't really talk that well. You'll see when you get him on. He'll be kidding, dude. He's another redneck. He's a great guy, man. He's one of my good friends, him, Chris, and I have another guy that I've been friends with forever. So it's not how many you have, it's how good they are. And I'm going to get off my soapbox now. So let's dive into the topic today. And I could apply this to really every place I've been to and researched and investigated. I wanted to start with talking about, how I don't want to seem biased. So let's start with the scientific community. Right, here's spit number 3. I don't give a shit. This is from the BMC Psychology Journal, peer-reviewed article. It's written by Charlotte Dean. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try. Tim Gale, Karen Irving, Richard Wiseman, and Keith Laws. It's a badass name. This is the 98th article. It was written in 2021. It's called Development of the Paranormal and Supernatural Beliefs Scale Using Classical and Modern Test Theories. So this study describes the construction and validation of a new scale for measuring belief in paranormal phenomena. The work aims to address psychometric and conceptual shortcomings associated with existing measures of paranormal beliefs. Study also compares the use of classic test theory and modern test theory methods for scale development. Okay, that's cool. So we combine two novel items and amended items, take it from the existing scale. 231 adult participants rated their level of agreement with each item using a 7-point. So they use a survey method to find a statistical pattern, which is cool. Research success. God, I think it's a dip. I gotta spit again. Spit number 4. Oh, he's so gross. Research suggests that belief in the paranormal correlates with a range of psychological constructs, including anxiety, loss of focus, suggestion, imagery, fantasy proneness, critical thinking, religiosity, never heard of that one, and creativity. So, like I said, you're crazy if you believe in the paranormal. Yes, we are crazy, bro. Belief in the paranormal has also been shown to correlate with cognitive factors such as cognitive ability, thinking style, there's that thinking style again, and executive function. Similarly, associations have been seen between academic discipline and paranormal beliefs, particularly when comparing hard science and medical students to those from art and humanities. Really? They're comparing. I mean, that's a good. Think about it. That's a good comparison right there. Because when you're an art and humanities major, you have to be more philosophical when you approach things. And then when you're a medical student, it's a matter of fact. It's what does science say? What are the, there's no, it's not black and white. You know what I mean? No 50 shades of gray when it comes to medical. I get in the spectrums, but whatever. Don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Finally, some evidence indicates that demographic characteristics such as age and gender also influence belief in the paranormal. Although the extent of these effects have not been questioned, while much of this work indicates a negative influence of paranormal beliefs on cognitive and psychological well-being, many studies have also demonstrated positive and adaptive functions of such beliefs. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, if you're thinking about it, if you're terrified of Bigfoot, like it becomes a phobia to you, you're never going to go in the woods, you're never going to go camping, and you're not going to like drive, it can really have a negative impact on your overall life. And then the flip side, if you're like me and you're totally into Bigfoot, you want to be his best friend, Bigfoot's BFF, like BFF. That's patented now. I said it first. Bigfoot's best friend forever. Like, I want to go out in the woods in the middle of the night, search for him. So I guess that opens me up for more positive things like being in nature. When you're in nature, you're happier. there is positive correlations between I'm happy when I'm outside doing things, searching for things, versus sitting in my house afraid to even turn off a light, right? That's just common sense. I'm going to skip a lot of the mumbo jumbo. A lot of the mumbo jumbo. There's a lot of it. Okay, participants, we recruited an opportunistic sample of the general public through advertisement placed on social media. Okay. These advertisements asked for participants over the age of 18 and fluent in English to compare. Why exclude? Because you're lazy and don't want to get an interpreter or learn other languages or translate? So you just cut. Like, you think people who speak other languages don't believe in the paranormal? Come on, bro. That's lazy. That's just lazy. Initial collection of 29 statements regarding paranormal and superstitious phenomena. It was generated using adapted items from the revised paranormal belief scale, the Australian sheep-goat scale. That's weird. And the survey of scientifically unaccepted beliefs. Ooh, I want to read that. Sounds cool. As well as 4 novel items developed by the authors. These novel items arose from discussion and examination of the 3 other places to identify any phenomenon absent from these measures, such as possessions and protection objects, like crucifixes. Now, let's... The number 5. In the spittoon. Some people, when they use their faith, right? And many of you might ask, my beard might be in the way, excuse me. What do I wear? I wear this every time I investigate. And as much as I can, if I remember. This is a troll cross. It's a more of a modern depiction of it, but it was discovered in a lot of remains from historical dig sites from Scandinavian times. And trolls are basically likened to demons. They're beings that aren't human. People think trolls, they think those snarling little things that live under bridges in children's books, or the little weird-haired toys that you used to get from McDonald's. No. Trolls are, if you watch my videos, trolls are what I associate with dark voices. And they come through and they talk very deep. I mean, it could have just been a guy that had a really deep voice, but most of the time I know when it's the dark voice is a troll. It's a demon. Saint, the one and the same. They're just under different religion titles. Spin number 6. So anyway, protective items. I wear this because it wards me from their ability to try to use dark magic against me. To try to whatever. What Christians or other religions would consider possession or influencing me to act a certain way. Not full, but they also try to destroy us. And there are also giants, which are not of our realm. And we're protected from those giants, and you can thank Thor because he is the protector of mankind. And he's been out there slaying giants longer than we can say. So, and I'm not talking like a giant, like Jack and the Beanstalk giant. I'm talking like a 10, 12, 13-foot man like guy, you know, or woman. It could be a woman. Or they can be humanoid too. It's not just, you know, they're freaking giant beasts, right? So I just wanted to clarify. You're getting me off topic, everybody. Thank you. Totally kidding. So those are, I wear that for protection reasons, like a condom, right? Don't want anything bad. I mean, spirits might come and follow me, which they have. It's been number 6. But there are ways to get them to leave you alone. I sage and I pray to the gods for help, and I use my guardian spirit, which she takes the form. She guards me, and I know this because I've had I saw a Reiki master. If you know Reiki, if you don't, look it up. It's amazing. It'll change your life. And she took me on a guided meditation, and I met my spirit guide, my animal. She's able to shapeshift into a puma, bro. All black, blue eyes. Just more like a mist. Fur is like a glowing mist, dark mist. And she's always there for me. Always has been. It's the day I decided to be born. But when I really need help with something that's bothering me spiritually, or I'm affected by something, all I have to do is say her name. And I wish I would have recorded it. But I used to go on TikTok live and I would do spirit box sessions so everybody could join in. And I didn't hear it because I was being affected by these darker entities around me. But I called out her name, my guide's name. Her name is Maka, which it translates into earth, or of the earth. And you could hear it. They said that they could hear it in the spirit box, that she came and the spirits started getting scared. And they started saying, leave him alone. They started backing away, and I felt better. She probably showed up, and she probably morphed, and she probably whooped some ass. That's what I'm thinking. She went full primal on their ass. And you might be thinking, God, dude, Redbeard, you're fucking crazy for believing this shit. That's fine. Am I any different than believing in any other religion? Hands down, telling me that, like, going up to somebody and saying, all your beliefs are wrong. The only way is X, Y, and Z. That's crazy to me. My mind is just wide open. So, I don't give a shit if you judge me. Spin number 6 coming in. Anywho, back on track. So those type of, it is critical to have a protective device or whatever, whether it's sage, whether it's certain stones, whether it's an amulet like this. I've had spirits come through and talk about my amulets, and they do not like it because they can't affect me. So that is critical, whether it's crucifix, whether it's whatever, man. do it. If you're going to get into this, you have to do it. It's a must. It's like before you get any ghost hunting gear, you have to protect yourself. Hands down. Okay. So I'm glad that they added that to their study. So they used a survey and you got to answer on a scale. The data analysis isn't really giving me. Here we go. Results. Exploratory factor analysis was conducted to investigate the latent constructs. Okay. Pass all that bullshit. First factor. All right. You know what? There's so much bullshit, like scientific shit in this. If you want to read it, just Google it. If you're like me, let's get to the point. Wherever that point is. Sorry, I'm still scrolling. This is a large article. So they discuss it, which is huge. Conclusion. Bit number 7. Okay, so both CTT and MTT derived scales supported an unidimensional view of belief in paranormal phenomena. However, the scale developed through the MTT model and the final measure going in the deficit, although future. What did they conclude? The data and analysis presented here support the psychometric reliability of this new scale for assessing belief in. Okay, so they tested their measuring and it worked. But what did they? So they were more focused on their measuring system. Yeah, I did say that. Whatever. Correlation between respondents' individual total scores, believers and non-believers. So there is an intersection where obviously the believers scored higher in both on both tests than the skeptics. So I would definitely go and read this, see it for yourself, especially if you're into that type of research. But at least it's being looked at, right? That's what matters. That we're not just a bunch of kooky weirdos that go into dark, scary places and look for things that go bump in the night and it's not real, right? It's all just bedtime stories. It is real, bro. I've experienced it and it's crazy shit. All right, so here's another article through the Britannica. I use this website. It's I love it because it's research based and they're credible. It's a credible source. So it defines the term of paranormal again, which we did last episode. Well, there's a short and to the point term commonly applied to experiences or events that seem unusual or unnatural. Okay, I like it. And it shows a picture of the UFO crash site in Roswell, New Mexico. Now, dude, I'll be honest. I've been there. I drove through there when I was stationed in Texas, and I was coming back to California, and then headed up to Washington State. Be stationed up there for 2 years, and I didn't even realize I was gonna go through Roswell. I was just cruising, man. And this was 2015, 2016. And like I had a shitty phone at the time. I think phones have gotten so much better in such a short amount of time. But I had a Garmin, like the one that sticks in your window. It doesn't show you anything around you, but I start cruising through Roswell, and I was like, "What's all this UFO shit?" And then I see the sign. It's Roswell, New Mexico, bro. Number 8. It's bit number 8 in the spittoon. So yeah, I've been there, and it's great for the people because it's a real small town, and it's really put them on the map. Otherwise, they would just be. I mean, you wouldn't even notice it. Probably wouldn't even be a town anymore. But everything is UFO themed there. So there's another tangent. So this one also breaks down how you apply your spiritualism into paranormal research or beliefs. So I don't really want to go too deep into that because it's probably a little biased. But yeah, I mean, you could tie that into, well, people do use spiritualism in paranormal research. You go in and you do a seance. Some exorcisms is one. Wiccan practices. People think it's witchcraft, but Wicca is its own standing religion and belief system. I don't know if it's actually a religion, but the good folks, man, the ones that are dedicated to their cause. Wicca is a very closely associated to Druidism, which was everywhere in Europe before, especially in Ireland, before the Crusades, I guess you could say. But I don't want to bore you with too much history. But then I jump over to, so this is jumping now into, so we took the scientific part, right? Calculating, figuring out how many people believe versus don't believe, and seeing it a physical number and how it compares to each other, right? Both sides of the spectrum. And now we have, in the middle, we have spiritualism viewed through paranormal lens, right? How people investigate with spiritualism to solidify their beliefs in the paranormal. And now we have types of hauntings from our community, from the paranormal community. Number 9. Are you tired of that yet? I don't really care. So my hair is wild under this hat. I'm going to give these guys a shout out. Not like I'm big time or anything, but this is Orange County. Orange County Paranormal Society, I guess you could say. Let me see what. So they're obviously in Southern California. There's a lot of great places to investigate down there, dude. Jealous. But they break down the types of hauntings. And they start with residual haunting activity. So in their definition, residual haunting activity occurs when something traumatic or stressful happens, such as a murder, rape, that results in murder, whatever. Negative energy is literally blasted into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to imprint a record of the events. If you don't believe that residual hauntings are true, all you need to do is go to Gettysburg, bro. Some of the big time shows have been there and documented residual hauntings. It's the sound of battle. It's you can hear muskets, you can hear cannons, you can see soldiers walking in a line, and some of them were filmed on really old, shitty cameras. You can't explain it because it's just crazy. Some picked up on thermal, some just amazing footage. And that's a residual haunting. If you want to think about it, it's like you put on a record, a vinyl record on a record player. If you're old, if you're young, probably have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. And you hit play and you put the needle down and it just keeps going, but it doesn't stop. And then maybe certain events may trigger it. Maybe an investigator comes into that area, asks a question that pertains to that event, and it kicks off the recording. Or time of day, time the event actually happened. I don't know what really causes it. And I don't know if many people really do. I mean, there are theories, but that if you want to visualize that and apply it to what residual hauntings are, that's what they are. You're not going to in a residual haunting situation, as far as when you're investigating, you're not going to get a spirit or something that's going to stop what it's doing and communicate with you intelligently, because it's stuck in a loop, man. It's like, whatever you do, it's not going to break that loop. I don't know if I've experienced a residual haunting as far as communication from a spirit, like something saying words and me hearing it and trying to communicate with it. But some of the shit that I hear when I go to places, those could be residual. You know, maybe even when I went to Preston Castle, this spirit kept coming through the spirit box that would just say, "It's time. It's time." Said it like 19 times, bro. Wouldn't say anything else. Maybe that's a residual haunting. It's time for what? Well, I don't know. Who knows? Time to get to work. Time to do this. Time, whatever. But it doesn't do anything further than that. So maybe he said it's time and somebody killed him, or it's time and he died, or who knows, man? They gotta know. So I personally haven't experienced what I truly believe to be a residual haunting. And that could even be like if you're in her house and a woman that worked, she's briefly in one of my videos. She works at the Coloma. She's a volunteer there, and she volunteers in the Monroe house. And she was telling me about when she was younger, living in Ohio, how she was babysitting and literally something came downstairs that day, would open a cupboard or cabinet and put down a cup of coffee and start trying to make coffee. And then, she would find things, drawers open, whatever. And then asking the owner, yeah, that happens all the time. So that's like a residual haunting, because it's like a routine, right? That person is haunting, comes down, always makes their coffee a certain way. Maybe the day that they made their coffee, they died. Or that's something that their spirit finds comfort in. I don't know. The theories can go on and on forever. Number 11. Or high on the spit count. So yeah, there's a residual. The next one, I think I'm going to make this a 2-part. Yeah, this is going to be a 2-parter because there's so many different kinds of activities. The next one, I have not experienced as an adult. I've only experienced it as when I was probably preteen, maybe early teenage years. And this is poltergeist activity. Now, when you hear that term, automatically think of the movie from the 80s where the little kid gets sucked into the TV. Right? Fucking Hollywood, dude. But poltergeist, when we say poltergeist, we mean something that has the ability to physically do things in our realm. Move things, open things, throw things, whatever. But as OC Paranormal says, poltergeist is a German word meaning noisy spirits. I haven't fact-checked that. It's probably right. I don't know. I mean, oh, wow. They even say reports of poltergeists date back to ancient Roman times. The activity that takes place will start off with knocks and bangs. And I guess, well, under this definition, I did experience it for the first time on camera when I was with my mom at that Nevada County Hospital. November 12th. I heard no one was in the building, bro. Just us in the middle of the day. We were outside. And right above me, I could hear footsteps. Like when you're in your apartment, you live on the first floor, and up above you, you hear your neighbors walking around. That's what it sounded like. So who knows what could have resulted from future activity there. So they go on to say, oh, the other poltergeist, when I was a kid, I lived up in the mountains. My backyard was right next to a Native American burial ground, like a modern day one, cemetery. And I don't know how old some of the burials are, but it's a plot just for them. Like no one else can be buried there, which is great. And I remember being woken up to what felt like hands touching me, like hands all over my bed, like 100 hands. It was creepy. And then something tugged and pulled my comforter off of me. So whatever it was I was terrified because I was a kid. But I feel like something was trying to get me up to help them or something along those lines. Who knows what they did to me where I was asleep and wasn't awake for it. So they go on to mention that most of the time in poltergeist cases, the haunting circles around a female in her teens. Some of the cases seem to be caused by the female unknowingly controlling the energy around herself. Some cases around people that are stable and in the right mind space. So wait, they think that the poltergeist is caused by a female in her teen years? Cases, I don't understand why they're mentioning only one demographic. This haunting is hard to classify due to certain situations. No two are ever really the same. Most of the time you'll find that one person in the house seems to be more affected by the haunting than anyone else. Okay, so that is true. I don't know what they meant in that first sentence, so just forget about that one. But yeah, poltergeists, I feel like they try to get the attention to someone that's either sensitive to being able to interact with them. I just heard a weird noise in my kitchen. Okay. No one's in there right now. The lights are off. Any of you? I have poltergeist right now.
So yeah, that makes sense. For me, when I was with my mom, I felt that when I investigated the mind with my mom, I felt that they came to me more, and that hospital. They were more centered around me than they were her, and I don't know why. So that makes sense, what they're saying. When it's not the teenager that is manifesting activity, there are usually several spirits in the area. The spirits appear to pool their energy together in order to become stronger. So this is their theory on it. So they think multiple spirits combine. So they like Power Rangers to combined. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. I don't think I believe in that. I mean, it's an interesting theory, but how could you prove it? You know, you can prove. See, even proving poltergeist activity is hard because even for me, when I see a video of people just chilling and shit flying off, it's like, okay, you can. If I can have my 360 camera that can eliminate the selfie stick, like, how do you know you can't buy material that can eliminate the string that you're yanking it off? And so I'm always skeptic of poltergeist videos, evidence videos. The ones that are cool is when they set up an object, a trigger object for activity. Whether it be like a doll or, something. And they leave the room, they leave the building, whatever, they're gone. And then something moves that. Or somehow it moves or is triggered. That is super cool. That kind of stuff, I believe. And it's only like subtle stuff. Like people think it's a wham. Yeah. I'll end with poltergeist activity. I really think I haven't experienced it in any places I've gone other than the noises. But that's hard to know because residual hauntings can cause noises, right? So what's going on here? I think that we're conditioned to always feel and believe that whatever we're seeing or going to experience is always going to be demonic or poltergeist. Like, it could just be residual, or it could be an intelligent haunting. And those are the ones you can communicate with, get them to use your devices to trigger alarms or yes or no lights, which I'm going to get soon. Because I think I spend my videos walking around because I love history too. I'm a complete nerd when it comes to that. And I like documenting the history and the feelings I have when I'm walking around. So most of the time you want to stay stationary, draw them to you, and then spark the activity with devices. Unless you're really like looking for the hot spots. I mean, like when I went on the road, the other day, Prospectors Road, supposedly haunted, residual hauntings for sure from pioneer days all the way to prospecting. There were murders, there were unexplained deaths all along that road. And I had some spirit box session or responses. But for the most part, it was actually really peaceful. So that one's hard, inconclusive on that one.
I'll definitely have to go back there, especially in the middle of the night. It's hard because people live on that street. I don't want to be bothering people, but to be successful, you got to be an asshole, apparently. So yeah, let's finish on that aspect of poltergeist and residual haunting. And keep in mind, if you're having these problems, especially just in this area in Northern California, if you're having what you think is residual or poltergeist activity in your house, and it could be scaring the shit out of your kids or you or your animals, but you don't know if it's real or not, reach out, man. Reach out to me. Reach out to... there's tons of research institutes and paranormal societies in this area, in the whole Sacramento Valley, any city really. But I mean, reach out to me because I'd like to check it out. But just kidding. Find someone you find comfortable to be in your house when you're not there, or with you there is better. People think you gotta move, you gotta stay in a hotel or some shit to invest. No, stay. Do it with the investigator. And because you could be the trigger object. Think about that. Anyway, this was a fun episode. I only spit 12 times. That's not bad, man. So, I thought it would be way more than that. But I really appreciate everybody that keeps following, that keeps subscribing. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X. Dude, y'all are awesome. I love this community. I seriously, I found nothing but amazing people that are passionate about this like I am. And if any of y'all want to also be on this podcast, or if you have your own that I could be on and we could talk, we could chew the cud, whatever you want to say, let's get her done, because, you know, we're a community. We got to stick up for each other. So appreciate your love, appreciate your following, and we'll see you next time down the road, if I could say it right. Later.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this a buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it, I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about finesse, I am not impressed.